I'll give it a minute or so for people to jump in. I've not advertised it apart from a little post I put on my Facebook, YouTube earlier. Didn't advertise it at all that we was going live, so not sure how many will pop in tonight, but we'll give it a minute or so for people to jump in. At the moment, I can't see anything, but it's normally about a minute or so behind. When people do jump in, there we go. Claire Bear, hello Claire. Carol, hello, how are you? Could you just let me know you can hear me okay? Because I've plugged the mic in and I want to make sure it works. Yo, everyone. Here we go. Ian's there, backing me up tonight, modding for me. That's brilliant. Cheers, Ian. Kelly, Sheila, Kibbs, oh God, here we go. Can't read them all. Yeah, all good. Thanks, Claire. Appreciate that. Hi, everyone. Hey, Danny from Craig, North Spain, originally from Birmingham. How are we all? Just thought I'd pop. Oh, wow, we've already got 50 odd people in, which is amazing. I'll ask straight away if you can give me a thumbs up. That helps spread the word a little. Good evening, Joan. Carpe diem, hit the like, thank you very much if you don't mind. Hey Des, how are you, mate? I'm guessing you're back in the UK, not in Spain. Jeff, Carol, Don. I won't read millions and millions of these out, but evening everyone. Good evening all. Mel, good news. Right, so we'll address that one straight away, shall we? Obviously, I don't talk about politics anymore, as you, I'm sure, are all aware. But obviously great news today for Tommy. He's got his release date. So we'll address the elephant in the room straight away and just say congratulations to him. I understand that he'll be over to Spain in the very near future. So well done. I've got a good video coming out tomorrow. Might as well plug it now. The video coming out tomorrow is about, so I've done a couple of videos. I've done my early life, you know, where I grew up and bits and bobs like that. Good evening, Jay. How are we all? Got obviously done that video with my early life, and then I've done the video, you know, of my sort of teenage years and bits and bobs. And yeah, we've just mentioned that one, mate. It's all very, very upbeat news from the UK in that respect. So I've done a video today when I was driving to my physio. Again, physiotherapy every other day at the moment. Still got a massive hole in my arm. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. I have a 5.3 centimetre tear in my bicep, which cannot be operated on because I left it too long. Angelina, how are you? Yeah, so I'm still having physio on that. So anyway, while I'm driving, it's about a 40-minute drive, to be fair. About 35 minutes drive to the physio. So I just chuck the camera in the holder and stick the mic on, which is this one here. They're Rode mics, by the way, which I found to be really, really good. And then I just waffle on. Obviously, I have to waffle on and drive, so I have to be a bit careful about that. Would I like another C63 to add to your collection? 2010, 5-door in white, 29,000 miles, 1 over, full service history. Lloyd, that sounds amazing, mate. 29,000 miles, the 4-door version would be a bit more usable, to be fair. Carter wanted to go to school in it this morning, so I gave it a move away from the driveway and give it a little run. It's only about a sort of 6-mile round trip, but moves it around. Lloyd, that sounds amazing, mate. And I used to have a white 5-door one as well. It's the older version of the C63, isn't it? It's the pre-facelift version. But yeah, that looks amazing, mate. You'll have to somehow get me the info about that, if you don't mind. Sophie would like to buy it. She loves driving that car. Anyway, so tomorrow, anyway, I waffled on about this video today, and as I was driving there, I've done this video. So this is from about the age of sort of 24-ish, I suppose. Everyone, I use my phone and watch on my big telly. All right, well done. So this was when I used to run a pub, and then the business that, I don't want to use the wrong word here, the business that I made money in, how I bought property and things like that. I was involved in a check cashing business. So anyway, I will go into all that in tomorrow's video. I don't know what time I'm going to release it, because I've done 2 videos in the last couple of days that have been absolutely horrific. Got 142 people in the room. Give us a quick up vote if you don't mind. Really bad views, the last 2 videos. Debbie, hello. Better late than never, mate. Really bad views in the last couple of videos. One was on when we went up to Lorca and the hotel, and then the other one was the quad biking. And both of them have got terrible view counts. I mean, YouTube keeps saying to me, this video's not doing very well. And a lot of people just take them down, but I'm just going to leave them up and people can view them if they want to view them in the future. Hi, Carol. And yeah, so I've got this video coming out tomorrow, which I think is really good. And it just basically goes into when I started getting into business and bits and bobs and the route I took and stuff like that. It does take time, Tony, to build a channel, mate. It really does. Just caught you live, mate. Let me know about the Tiffany 41. Sent you a WhatsApp. Jay, my WhatsApp's all over the place at the minute, mate. I'll get it, but it probably won't be for a couple of days. Probably Thursday I'll probably get it, mate. Yeah, come on, Carol. If you're guilty because you haven't watched them yet, get on that, please. I need the views on it. What YouTube says, mate, just put, yeah, exactly right. And like I say, it's not all about making the channel. I've noticed the subs now have really slowed down. I don't know why. I think even when Paul, I was live on Paul's channel yesterday, I think it was yesterday. Time's going really quick. It was yesterday. And he gave it a shout out a couple of times. I got about 12 subs from it. Like normally that would be hundreds, but anyway, it is what it is. So anyway, you've got to watch tomorrow's video. I'll probably post it, I don't know, about 4 o'clock UK time. So hopefully that will be a bit of a decent time to post it. Good evening, everyone. Everyone's still saying hello. Can we share the videos, peeps? Yeah, I mean, any shares or bits and bobs like that on social media, on Twitter or whatever they call it now, X, Facebook, whatever, anything could be really helpful if you don't mind. Because I'm trying to build it. I'm trying to get to the magic 10,000 subs, which I've still got a way to go. So it'll probably be the end of the year, mate. No, my luck. I've got a video coming out soon, living with a vegan, because that can be challenging. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if anyone's ever been out with a vegetarian or a vegan for dinner. When I go out with Sophie, it's like planning a royal visit. I have to phone up in advance to make sure the menu's okay and fits and everything else. And it can be, you know, it's a bit like, anyway, I've got a video coming out on that soon. Money saving tip, right? I like fashion. I particularly like Hugo Boss. I have done for many years. I've probably been wearing Hugo Boss now for 20 years. Sorry about you being vegetarian. I do apologise to yourself. No, vegetarian's easy. You can have cheese, you can have egg, you can have milk, you can have, you know, chocolate, you can have all sorts of stuff, even honey. Take all that away from your food and it is a bit of a bloody nightmare, I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, vegan in the 1980s. I tell you what, that would have been hard work in the 1980s. It's hard enough work now, trust me. Anyway, I've got that coming out. I'm going to do that with Sophie, so I'm going to ask her a few questions and stuff. Anyway, that's coming up in the next week or two. I like my fashion, right? And I really do. You're right, Carl. Thank you very much. Yeah, vegetarian is bad enough. It is very bad. And Carter's being brought up as vegetarian at the moment. I don't particularly agree with it, but he can at least have milk, egg, cheese and all that sort of stuff. But oh my God, it is hard work. And I'm going to speak to Sophie about maybe letting him try something, but he actually doesn't want to try it. So he's happy eating as he is, and he's very healthy, to be fair. He never gets ill, and got all of his teeth, like a lot of his friends at school now are losing their teeth and bits and bobs. So gluten-free, right? In the restaurant, one of the restaurants that we own does a lot of gluten-free, and it's very popular. I mean, we didn't have any of this years ago, did we? Gluten-free and lactose intolerant and stuff like that. We never had all that years ago. We just used to, you know, pescatarian, vegetarian, vegan. Oh my God. Difficult now, isn't it? Very, very difficult. Anyway, going back to it, I like Hugo Boss. I always have done. But I never buy Hugo Boss at retail price. I always wait until there's a big sale. There's normally 2 or 3 sales a year with Hugo Boss. And you can get like a 90 quid shirt for about 55 quid, which is a lot different. I mean, to be fair, 55 quid for this type of shirt. I mean, this one here, right? There you go. I don't think it is Ralph Lauren. I think it's like Polo or something. I paid 19 euros for that the other day. I went to an outlet. There's an outlet quite close to where we live, designer outlet, right? 19 euros for this. I'll quickly show you it. There you go. 19 euros for that. And it was in the Ralph Lauren shop or Polo shop or whatever you want to call it. 19 euros. That's about 16, 17 quid. So there you go. So what I'm saying is never pay full retail for stuff. Wait until people... yeah, I spoke to Richard the other day when I was with Paul. We spoke to Richard for a while on a video call. He's doing very well. So like I say, only ever buy, that's a bargain. Yeah, and I bought a shirt, white shirt, same make, in that store for the same money, 19.95 I think it was. So I got a polo shirt and a actual white shirt for 40 euros, which is about 36 quid, 35 quid, maybe even a little bit less than that. I can't really work it out in my head. About 35 quid, let's just say. So anyway, what I'm saying is you can have the designer stuff, right? Thoughts on the new Land Dweller. Sorry, I keep reading, and the Land Dweller. Do you know what? I don't like any of Rolex's latest releases at all. The root beer, which is a solid gold, rose gold, 40mm GMT. All they've done is replaced it with like a volcano-y type dial and like the face on it for people that don't know watches. And they've put like two and a half grand on it. I mean, they're struggling to sell them anyway. Does that make sense? So all they're doing is getting the old stock, replacing the dial on it and charging an extra 2 grand. And everyone's going to want it because it's the latest thing. Anyway, the Rolex thing at the moment, the Rolex release was absolutely horrific this year, in my opinion. I'll probably do a video on the watches soon. Not on my watches, but watches in general. I've still got a lot of my watches in the UK. Like I say, I haven't been buying watches for a long time now. Tracy, thank you very much. That is very kind of you. It's a super chat. Now I don't know if that can be highlighted on the screen. I've not really learned how to do that yet, so I do apologise. Remember super chat messages. Let's just try it, shall we? How can I do it? Use it in time. See, I don't want to block you by mistake, but I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. And that was to buy Carter a present. How lovely is that? Thank you very much. Tracy Bryce, thank you very much. I will get him something. Little git spoilt as it is, to be fair. But like I say, don't pay full retail for any fashionable clothes that you want to wear and bits and bobs, right? You can go to these outlets, they're everywhere. Just go to one of these outlets. I went to one the other day and they had everything there. Like, I mean everything. This was about 3 or 4 weeks ago I went there. They even had a Stone Island shop, which you very rarely see Stone Island doing discounts. But they had a shop there. They had everything. Louis Vuitton, you name it, they had everything there. And obviously everything's a lot cheaper, you know? Like I say, I'd buy these shirts and stuff. This was less than 18 quid in pounds. So anyway, money saving tip from Dan. Another money saving tip, right? And this wiles me, when you brush your teeth, don't leave the tap running. Turn it off. While you're sitting there brushing your teeth, this is like going to turn into a, now hold on, let me see if I can, look at that. I might actually be able to do that. Can I post that? Can anyone see that? Oh, well, I'm trying to post Tracy's thing, but it's not letting me. I will learn how to do that by the next next live. I'll have that mastered. Don't leave the tap running when you're brushing your teeth, right? You brush your teeth, turn the tap off while you're scrubbing, then turn it back on when you spit the stuff out, right? That's just one. And also, if you're gonna do a kettle, a cup of tea for one person, don't fill the water completely up to the top of the kettle, right? Because it uses a load of water that you end up tipping away because you want a fresh load of water for the next cup. And also, it costs you 3 times, 4 times as much in electricity and takes 3 or 4 times longer. Another money saving tip by Dan, all right? Just a quick one for you there. This is how you get wealthy, you know. Well, not that I am wealthy, but this is how you can get wealthy by not wasting loads of money. That super chat's still sitting at the top there, and I'm trying to do something with it, but it's not letting me. No, it's not letting me do it. Sorry, Tracy, I'm really sorry, mate. I can't put it up on the screen. No, I don't want to stop streaming. God, I nearly knocked the live out then. Okay. Yeah, crazy. Anyway, for some reason now, it's only showing me, because I've just turned it on to super chats. So now I'll put it onto top chats. Right, I've got the chats back up now, guys. I was about 3 or 4 minutes without seeing anything. Tommy's coming back home. Yeah, look, we have addressed that already, and it is great news for him and his family. Do you dry the tea bags out and the what? No, I don't, Ian. Right, listen, there's a limit to sort of trying to save money, mate. Hi Maureen, hi Tim, hi Alan. Sorry guys, as I say, where I was trying to sort that super chat and putting it out on the actual screen, I knocked out all the regular chat. Hi Sharon, everyone, hi. There's 240 people watching and only 146 upvotes. Come on, let's get those thumbs up if you don't mind. It really, really helps. And my God, I need help the way the last 2 videos I've done have been doing. They've been doing absolutely awful. If you haven't seen them yet, pop over, take a quick look. I'm thinking of selling my day-to-day car, my Peugeot. It's coming up for 3 years old. I bought it with some finance, funny enough. So I put a car in against it and put a bit of finance on it. Now the finance is due to be paid off. Obviously I can just give the car back and put it in for something else. But I'm thinking of getting a little van. I don't know, because I've got the 2 restaurants. Obviously when I bought the car, I didn't have the restaurants. So I'm now thinking about getting a little van. Or one of those Berlingo type things. Anyone got a Berlingo van? Or like, you know, where you've got the 5 seats and the huge boot? Because obviously when you go away, we're going to try and do a little bit of Spanish trips and Spanish holidays coming up. I've got a couple of people doing this. You're rich, yeah. I'll tell you what, I swap with most people with my bank account, mate. Got a lot of assets, but not much money, unfortunately. But anyway, but obviously now these vans and stuff are starting to appeal because obviously we've got Vauxhall. You loved your Berlingo Unicorn. I just bought a Vauxhall Combo 22 plate great van. I'm happy about Tommy. No, my pleasure. I'm finance for car. That's not money saving. Why not use 0% credit card? Right, I'll address that one because to buy it out here, you get all sorts of exchange rate. To be fair, I haven't got much and I've got a very, very low interest rate. So it was more sensible to use their money than mine, if that makes sense. Now, we're going to Madrid in December. And Madrid now, there's another super chat. Thank you very much, Rob. Paul reckons he's going to give you a slap in the ring. Yeah, so I hear, mate. So I hear. Yeah, I'll let Paul chat to you about that one. I think he spoke about it on Richard's channel today. I've got an injury at the moment, but even with my injury and both my good arm tight behind my back, I'm going to beat him. No, listen, I'll go easy on him because he's old and he's an old boy now. He's probably going to be watching this, to be fair. I know you're a boxer. I was going to buy a stand-up punch bag. Not sure if they're good. I've always struggled with them, I'm going to be honest with you, because I punched them and they go over. And there's nothing more frustrating than keep on having to pick it up. Or the other thing you can do is then have it stand it against the wall. But then there's not really a lot of point. You'd be better off getting a ground to ceiling ball if you can, a ground to ceiling bag, so that you can actually, you know, punch it and knock it around a little bit. But then you do need a bit of room for it as well. So yeah, that's I'm missing a load of these chats, guys, because there are so many coming in so quickly. I'm going to be honest with you. Don't buy a van where you need to add blue. Yes, the AdBlue. I've had that in a Mercedes that I used to lease. I used to have a business lease on a Mercedes, and the AdBlue was a bit of a pain. Although it wasn't very. I probably had that car for 3 years. I probably only put it in about 7 or 8 times, to be fair. So I suppose it's not terrible on that. So yeah, now we're going to Madrid in December, and I was told I go out for coffee with a few police officers once a week. Funny enough, he's on patrol tonight, and he said he was going to call in, but he's probably not going to now, I wouldn't think. He's just told me that Madrid have now introduced that to go into the Madrid town centre, you can only have an electric car or a hybrid car. You cannot go in with a diesel or petrol, which I've got to look into because we're due to go to Madrid, and generally, if I kept my car, the hybrid battery is absolutely useless, to be fair. You get about 90 kilometres on it, or with petrol, you probably get about 200 kilometres on it, but that's not going to be enough to get to Madrid. And then you've got to worry about charging it and everything else. It's a plug-in, but it has got petrol as well. But as soon as the battery goes, the petrol becomes so uneconomical, it's probably cheaper to take the C63, which is the worst juice guzzling machine I've ever driven in my life. So in Spain, you have stickers in the window. So blue is hybrid or electric. Then you get a blue and green sticker. It's like an old tax disc size. A blue and green sticker, that says you've got petrol. A green sticker says you've got diesel. And a yellow sticker, I don't know what that's for. It must be for a tank or something. I haven't really worked what the yellow one is. I mean, that's going to be for the C63, I'm guessing. That type of thing. Yeah, so I'm thinking, no, hybrid is not the way forward, in my opinion. I've got a hybrid car now, but it is plug-in hybrid, and it is a pain in the neck. It really is. Can we hear about your e-scooter crash? Yeah, do you know what? I'm actually going to do a video on that because I got that out today for the first time in about 4 years, and it didn't work. I think maybe the batteries might have dried up on it or something. I don't know. You can have AdBlue taken out, cost us about €200. I don't know whether that changes the tax, does it, on it? And I suppose you don't have to tell them, but I suppose you would need to. So. Did the tortoise come back? Yeah, he's in here somewhere. He come back this morning. He was on the porch this morning. So yeah, he's around. Hypocrite birds cheaper. I missed the other ones on that. Will you get... No, I won't. Jack, I don't do politics, mate. Well, not anymore. Let's put it that way. Electric will never happen. Those do... Yeah, I agree. I think this is a fad. I think the electric cars, I don't think are ever going to take off. I really don't. I think hydrogen might in the future, but not the electric cars. So I'm tempted to just get a van in petrol, because then obviously I'll get a blue and green sticker, which I'll be allowed into more places eventually when they put it all about. I don't really want this hybrid stuff anymore. It's a pain in the neck, and it sort of knocks all your bloody electricity out as well. Like, you know, to charge them, they do come to quite a lot. I mean, I've got solar, but you want the solar to run your house, not just to charge your car. Anyway, that's life. So yeah, I'm gonna get something. I don't know what. I'm gonna go into the chats now, guys, because I know there's loads going on here. Fitters, just take it out. Can we get the infrastructure for electric in the UK? I agree. I don't think the infrastructure's there. And we've had plenty of notice, haven't we? Save your money rather than blowing it up and things like daft lottery tickets. When the lottery started years ago, I played it for 3 weeks, won £10. Do you know what? A lot of people do spend 20, 30 quid a week on the lottery. Look, you've got to be in it to win it, and I get that. But I don't know. Converter van, ours is old but great. Yeah, you can convert them to LPG and stuff, can't you? Which is, you know, I reckon Paul will look like Scooby-Doo in the ring. Those modern vehicles worry me. I don't know. Hugo Boss, yes, it is a great make. I have been buying it for years. Pretty much my whole wardrobe is Hugo Boss, and that's not me showing off, right? Spain blocking 66,000 Airbnbs. I've not heard of that, Kim. Maybe they're talking about it, but they do talk about it a lot in the Spanish government, and it never happens. But I think they're just trying to put foreign investment. I don't think it's to do with the UK at all, but I don't know. If they do, they do. I mean, we've booked an Airbnb next month, I think it is. We're going back to Malaga next month. We're actually going to the same apartment. We were so impressed by it last time. We're going to the same apartment again. Take you guys with us, show you around, show you the spa and bits and bobs like that. So yeah, that'd be quite nice. Look, right, look. So yeah, okay, I'm getting lots of comments on that. So yeah, lottery tickets is gambling, and gambling is a bit concerning. Smoking. I'm not trying to preach to people here, but smoking, what a waste of money. Do you know what I mean? 20 quid a box or something now for a pack of fags. Drinking alcohol, obviously doing silly things like, you know, the illegal stuff. I won't even go into that. You all know what I mean. Yeah, these sort of things, when you don't do any of those and you haven't got a problem with those, Mercedes V8 for me. Yeah, I love, listen, Daz, the Mercedes V8. I mean, I drove it today. It's the end of those type of cars, isn't it? 2,350 for gold leaf, 30 grand. 2,350, I take it that is. God, the chats are coming in quick. Yeah, listen, the Mercedes C63, that's a 6.2. It's not actually a 6.3, but it's a 6.2 litre V8 in a small C-Class Mercedes. You know, they're not going to make those cars anymore, are they? That's ever tried a V8 Cayenne? I haven't. A friend of mine had one. I'm not really a Porsche person, so let's get on to that, shall we? Favourite supercars. So, okay, I believe you like Lamborghini. If you like Lamborghini, you're not a big fan of Ferrari and Porsche. That's my take on that. Right? Could everyone just give us a quick upvote? We've got 270 odd people watching and only 210 upvotes. Please just give that a little like for me. It costs nothing and it helps the channel grow a little. Okay, so Pauline's come out first, Ferrari. Okay. I went through a stage in early 2000s where I was buying supercars and trading them in for another supercar. And it hasn't changed now, has it? I mean, I'm going back over 21 years ago, I bought a new Lamborghini. And again, this isn't me trying to boast, or I'm just talking about a big passion of mine. A lot of you guys will know I've got, you know, the silly cars, or a couple of silly cars at the moment. Lamborghini are a different breed, in my opinion. I had a couple of Porsches, 3 Ferraris, couple of Lamborghini, 3 Lamborghinis, and 2 McLarens, one being current at the moment. The Gallardo was beautiful. That was the car I bought. I bought it directly from Lamborghini. It was brand new. It was delivered to me. It was one of the best days of my life because Lamborghini has a big, I've said to this before in another video, my dad took me when I was very young. I was 5 years old, something like that, 4 or 5 years old. And there was a Lamborghini Countach there, and that was the pin-up car. I am going to get back to these super chats in a sec. Aston Martins are beautiful. Lamborghini Countach and the Ferrari Testarossa were the 2 pin-up cars, and I always loved the Lamborghini, even from younger than what Carter is, he's 5. And I decided that I wanted to look at this car. And so I said to my dad, look, any chance you can take a photograph of me because it was the proper Kodak ones at the time, a photograph next to me standing next to the car. So my dad asked and said to the guy on the stand, it was a big barrier around it and everyone was just drooling over this car. And everyone stood there, you know, they couldn't get anywhere near the car. So my dad said to the guy that was there, if I buy him a Lamborghini coat and a hat or whatever, could he go and have his picture taken? Cannonball Run, I'm going to come back to that. And the guy said, look, sorry, and he was very polite. We just can't let anyone stand near the car. There was VIPs there and stuff like that. It was Portman Lamborghini back then. And I happen to know Amari a little bit now, who owns Amari Supercars, but his family owned Portland years ago, Portman Lamborghini. Anyway, So I remember at that time thinking, do you know what? I felt really upset because I didn't understand that you couldn't stand next to the car. And I remember saying, I'm going to buy one day. And when that car got delivered, that was one of the best days of my entire life. It's in the top 10 of my entire life. It was a proud moment. It was brand new. And I was doing pretty well in business, which is all going to come onto this video I'm going to post tomorrow. BMWs, love them. It's a fine line, isn't it? Between, I've just read a couple of comments. I don't like to talk about it because I feel that it comes across as bragging. It's really not bragging. This is completely 100% a passion of mine, and it has been since I was a toddler. So yeah, Audis are lovely, the R8s and stuff. So I love the Ferraris. I'm not a big Ferrari fan, but I've got a friend of mine who is wealthy beyond anyone's imagination, and he collects Ferraris. In fact, Ferrari have built a showroom, or furnished and signaged the showroom that he's built in his back garden. And he's got multiple, when I say multiple, and we're not talking 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand. We're talking £5 and £6 million cars, you know. Is tremendous, tremendous. What's the biggest car dealer? Well, you've got the likes of Tom Hartley. You've got the likes of, what's the other one? Tom Hartley, and there's another one. Someone's going to remind me now. As I say, cars have been a passion of mine for forever. Chris Evans is, no, I'll tell you what though, Chris Evans did, I don't even know whether he still got it. He had a, the old, what was it, the 248 Ferrari, was it? Or the 250 Ferrari, I can't remember. It was about 60, 70 million pound, weren't it? Ridiculous. The C63, mate, I'm never going to sell. That's a car that I will keep until my last breath, and then one of the kids or all the kids will benefit from selling it, I'm pretty sure, because it's so low mileage and not being used. Although the guy that mentioned it earlier, that he's got one for sale, that would be a good buy for someone that could just put it away. Yeah, the problem is, right, so the Porsche Taycan, someone's just mentioned it. Lada, do you know what, right? Say what you want, right? Any car will get you from A to B, won't it, at the end of the day? At the end of the day, a car will get you from A to B. Might get you a bit quicker in a supercar, but you'll probably end up getting a speeding ticket or your license taken away. The Porsche Taycan, as I understand it, Porsche sell them, and as I understand it at the moment, if you go to trade your Taycan in for another Porsche, they won't even let you trade the car in. So I hear. Don't quote me on that. Allegedly, that's what's happening. So Porsche won't even buy the Taycans back. So there's electric cars for you. That's what's going to go on. Listen, Skodas, right? Or Skoda. They don't call them Skodas anymore, do they? They are really reliable and a really, really good car now. It used to be, I mean, you remember all the old jokes, didn't you? Guy goes into a petrol garage and says, have you got a windscreen wiper for me Skoda? And the guy behind the counter thought about it for a second and said, yeah, all right, that's a fair swap. All those sort of things. What do you call a upside down Skoda, a skip, and all that sort of stuff. But I'll tell you what, mate, Skoda are making some fantastic cars now. Do you know what? The last laughs, you know, definitely on them. They are making some tremendous looking cars now. And they're really, really good quality and very reliable now. So, you know, people can say, you know, the old jokes, I get it, like back in the 80s. You didn't want to touch one with a barge pole, did you? But there you go. Yeah, Skoda are Volkswagen engines, as are the new Cupras. I don't know whether they're called Cupra in the UK. I think they are. Cheers, Joe. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, mate. The Cupra in the UK. No, I know you was joking, mate, but actually I wanted to point that out. Craig, I just wanted to point out that Skodas now make a bloody brilliant car. I wouldn't have touched one with a barge pole. A mate of mine used to have an old banger and it was yellow, and we used to go out in it and I was like this in it. I was like, oh no. You know, your street cred with your 19 quid top ain't going to go down very well in this, is it? Anyway, where was we? Where was we? I've lost my train of thought now. Yeah, like I say, Any car will get you oi oi taxi for Nick. Oh, is Nick in the chat? I didn't even see him, mate. Nick very kindly run us about a few times when we was in London doing the bits that we used to do, well, the bits that I used to do. I'll tell you what we was talking about. We was talking about Cupras. CUPRA, I think it is. They've got a Volkswagen engine. I'll tell you what though, I was out looking at a few cars with Paul the other day because Paul's obviously buying a car or bought a car. I don't know whether he has or bought one or buying one. But we went out down a load of dealers the other day and, you know, and looked at a Cupra. And they are a fantastic looking car. Like I say, I think they've got a Volkswagen engine in it. Kia is supposed to be very good. I've never owned one. When we first moved here, we bought a, and I bought it before I got here, but done the deal when I actually got here. We bought a Hyundai, no it wasn't, a Tucson. Yeah, was it a Hyundai? Yeah, Hyundai Tucson. And that was a fantastic little car, a bit juicy to be fair. And then after a while, we bought a little CLA Mercedes, which is lovely, and we've still got to this day, although Sophie's actually now wanting a slightly bigger car. So she's had it valeted the last couple of days, and I've got a friend of mine trying to sell it now. Still love the old Ford Capri. Wouldn't you like to have a couple of those now with low mileage? And this is what I'm saying, like, as I say, we're going back onto cars. Maseratis, yep. Going back onto cars. You've got Sierra Cosworth, RS 500, Ford Sierra Cosworth. Let's just remember, it's a Ford. They're up for £495,000 at the moment. Like nearly £500,000 for an RS 500 Cosworth. It's because they don't make them no more and you can't buy them no more. So these things are good investments, I think, long term. And this is my plan with the C63. Because they don't make them no more. They're a huge engine. My one's very low mileage. It's full service and full service by Mercedes. Yeah, I mean, Skoda are doing really well. They're doing really well at the moment, really well. Crazy. I mean, if you've not looked, you should look at things like XR2s and XR3Is and RS Turbos and stuff. They are stupid money now. Unless, obviously, if they're an old banger, they're not. But if they're looked after, serviced, got low mileage, the Volkswagen Golfs, some of the old GTIs, you know, some of the old Porsches, mate, I'll tell you what, Sapphire Cosworth back in the day, I'll tell you what, true, right? But the hatchback, the RS 500 is the one, it really is. And I very, very nearly, this was as an investment to put away, very, very nearly a few years ago invested in a Lamborghini Countach. It had less than 1,000 miles on the clock, but I couldn't quite get, I was dealing with a Mari Supercars and I couldn't quite get the deal over the table. In a way, I probably couldn't really have afforded it, I'm going to be honest with you. I would have had to have sold a few things and still had a bit of finance on it because it was a lot of money still, but I wish I had done now because that same car's doubled in value. I mean, look at, do yourself a favour, go on Auto Trader after this and have a little look. Is there a classic car scene in Murcia? Yeah, if you have a look on the video I posted a few days ago, there was a classic car show. Not loads of cars, but you know, yeah, there is some classic cars out here. There is a Model T Ford, you don't see many of them about. I had a chopper bike back in the day, so did I. It was a chopper or a grifter. And I had a chopper as well. And yeah, so as I say, I think if you want to put some money somewhere, a good investment, again, I can't give investment advice because I'm not qualified, but a good investment would be a very low mileage, good service history, classic car. Put it away. If you've got a garage, you know, why not? Do you know what I mean? Why not? The Taycan, yeah, the batteries are silly money. I mean, I don't know whether anyone saw, what was his name? Mark McCann's. He's just recently bought a McLaren P1 from Harrods via Tom Hartley. And he was worried because the McLaren said, well, we need to look at your battery in it and make sure it's all right. If he had to get a new battery in the P1, it was £120,000 from McLaren. And the charger for it, he was quoted £20,000 just to replace that. How crazy is that? 120 grand for a new battery. It's not just a normal car battery because it's a hybrid car, but the same thing, these hybrid cars, the batteries are going to dry up and they're going to need replacing. And there's going to be an awful lot of people that are going to need to put hands in their pocket again for a car that's a few years old to go. Well, I don't think they give money to Harrods, to be fair. They didn't pay the money to Harrods. It was payable to Tom Hartley, who has obviously had a stand at Harrods. I don't even think it's there now. Astra GTE, that was a fantastic car. I remember them. And the Peugeot 205 GTIs. A 130 Triumph Colour. Jasmine first car. It's a bicycle. Hang on, I've missed some of these chats, guys. I apologise for that. MR2, Toyota MR2. A few of them have been done up to look like Ferraris, haven't they? The old 355 Ferraris, terribly converted. I mean, you can tell them a mile off. But I see one a few months ago, actually. Mate, seen grifters and choppers for sale. Yeah, they're a lot of money now, the old Paul. Oh, hello, Paul. How are you, mate? I didn't see your name there, but yeah, they're a lot of money now, mate. Do you like private reg plates? Yes, I've had a few private plates. Do you know what? I'll tell you one that I had and I sold, and I should never have sold. My initials are D for Delta, R for Romeo, S for Sierra, right? And I love Formula One. And when the F1 plates come out, I bought F1 DRS. I paid 1,300 quid for it. F1 DRS. Now, anyone that knows anything about Formula One knows that DRS is a drag reduction system. So that plate now, I sold it a few years ago because I didn't need it anymore because I was moving to Spain. I sold it a few years ago, and that plate now has got to be worth 20 grand to the right buyer. Should have kept it. See, there's a few people saying, wow, P1 for wow, on his motorhome, wow. I won't repeat what you said, but yeah, I'm sure people can see it in the chat. Yeah, so I had F1 DRS, and then on the McLaren, which I had in the UK before I left the UK, I had Dares D4 RES. I would like to show you a picture of it, but I haven't got my phones down here. And yeah, I haven't got it. Yeah, that was a good plate as well, which I sold. I've got a couple of plates still, which probably wouldn't be wise for me to say online with it because you never know who's watching. But I've got a couple of plates still on retention. Ones that I'm just going to give to my son in the UK when he gets a car. Where are we? Sized up and knackered. Great, lovely car. Sorry, I'm not seeing all these chats. There is an awful lot of chats tonight, guys. First turbo was a Montego. I had an Austin Montego Estate years ago. White Austin Montego Estate. I had an XR3i as a first car. I was very lucky. I saved up. I wish I had kept the XR3i because that would be worth a lot of money now. D1 NGO, that's a good plate. I also had Harlem as well. It was H12 LEM, it was HA12 LEM, and I sold that as well. I bought that on eBay, and I thought it was a really good plate. If you put the, it's HA, if you put the 1 and 2 together, it looked like an R, and then it was LEM. I got a £100 fine for having that on a car once. During COVID, a police officer pulled me over, said that it's slightly misplaced, and you know, there was people dying of COVID or whatever was going on, and it just felt a little bit out of place to be fined 100 quid while that was going on and we was in a lockdown. I had an emergency. I had to go and pick my daughter up from somewhere, and there you go. There you have it. I'm sure it made his day. Does it have sand tyres? I'm missing out on these ones, mate. I'm sorry about that. Morris Marina, 84 CB. That would be a good plate. I'll tell you what, that'd be worth a few quid now. That would be worth a few quid. What else have we got on here? I haven't really got an awful lot of stuff to talk about, to be fair. I'm going to go into crypto on a upcoming video. I'm going to also go on to my sort of later part of my business life. I had a nightclub, or wine bar stroke nightclub, that was quite well known. Memorabilia, I might get some memorabilia because I collected memorabilia most of my life. Got some rare stuff. And I've received a call yesterday from the television show again, asking if we want to do more. But I'm not sure. I'm going to be honest with you. I think we've run our course with that. So we will we'll see with that one. I've got a friend coming over this weekend from the UK. Interesting character. I'll try and get him on, and he's certainly not shy. He's quite a well-known DJ years ago in the Essex area. And yeah, coming in, let's have a little look what we got. Lambretta all day. I'll tell you another thing I want to get. I do want to get my bike license. That's what, I'll tell you what, that plate that Paul's just said about, what's his name just got that? Mark McCann or something like that. Dubois versus Usyk. I see Dubois winning this one, and quite comfortably. I think Usyk's run his course. He is a pumped up cruiserweight, very good heavyweight, but still a pumped up cruiserweight. And I believe that he will, well, they've fought already, haven't they? And whether you believe the body shot was low or not, it put Usyk on his back for 5 minutes. It was deemed a low blow, so he had the 5 minutes to recover. But yeah, I see Dubois winning the next one. And I think Dubois is on a bit of a roll at the moment. That's quite interesting. I want to get my bike license. The only problem is I've got to take it in Spanish, so I'll need a translator with me. Hi, Angie from Lincolnshire. Ramplin. I have the SL AMG Mercedes. That is a beautiful car. Yeah, I want to get a Harley Davidson Night Rod Special. The tyre on the back is like that. It's like a car tyre. And when you start it up, it just sounds like the bike version of the C63. You know, it's like a real meaty roar. It's not a fast bike, I'm sure. I've never driven. I've only ever driven a moped, to be fair. And I do fancy getting another bike, but I need a bike license, to be fair. So we'll see what happens with that. Excuse me. Still getting over this, whatever I've had for the last few weeks, but it is going at last. I've got a 72 Beetle still. That's really good. That'll be a good little car to keep if it's in good condition. Lowish mileage, that'd be great. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. There's still a few people that haven't given me an upvote. If you don't mind, try and get it to 300 for me. Give it a little thumbs up. I've asked a few times. I don't want to sound like I'm begging, but it really does help the channel grow. And like I say, it's very, very helpful. What happened to your new Lambo? I don't know whether you're talking to me, but I haven't got a Lambo. You might be talking to somebody else in the chat. Let me know. Getting undescribed on many people. Okay, in Spain, you can sit on your bike license over here. Right, so when you come over and you swap your F1 DRS is on a Land Rover. Yeah, it was on a Mercedes a while ago. D4 RES, no, it's still on retention. I spoke to the guy that bought it from me the other day. Oh, and Harlem is on a 2016 Merc. That's crazy, isn't it? I just thought Harlem, do you know what? Chris Eubank, his brother's called Harlem. He would have probably bought that bloody plate. That was me being stupid. I just wish I'd kept the F1 plate. That really did used to look good on a car. I can't show you any of this because, like I say, I haven't got my phone with me and it's all on the media on my phone. Maybe I'll try and bring up some pictures for next time. Have you had the scammers that Paul Thorpe has had on his? No, my channel's not big enough. I'm going to be honest with you. I will point it out though. If anyone ever gets a message from me saying, talk to me on WhatsApp, can you lend me a few quid or whatever, or on Messenger or on Telegram or whatever, as with Paul, it's not us. So don't fall for that. I will never ask for money from anyone at all, and Paul won't either. You know, if somebody wants to do a super chat, then that's fine, or they want to send like a coffee or whatever they do. I don't even know what they call it, but that's fine. But we will never ever ask. Yeah, that is, Paul's mentioned it on a couple of his channels, a couple of his videos recently, that these scammers, I think a couple of people have been scammed. So past mine in 99, Danny, you can get a Vespa then, mate. Yeah, I can get a Vespa. I can get a 125 out here, but I fancy a Harley, I really do. Danny, I will not sell my Hummer and my friends, oh, that's just disappeared. I will not sell my Hummer and my friends got a price we buy a car. They got 30 grand for his Taycan. That was like 130 grand car, weren't it? And they're not that old. They are suffering, the Porsche Taycan. If anyone's thinking of buying one new, Jesus, don't do it. Yeah, Ms. Tree, we've covered that one, mate, a couple of times, but very good news for him and his family. I bet they're over the moon. I can imagine there's a couple of champagne corks being popped tonight somewhere for that. Yeah. So like I say, tomorrow we've got this video coming up of my pub and check cashing time. Check cashing is really where I made my most money in business. It was a very, very successful and fabulous business to be in. Stressful as hell, but I'll explain all that tomorrow. It's going to be, I'll release it at 4, there you go. I'll release it at 4 o'clock tomorrow, UK time, okay? So make sure you give it a like and a thumbs up and a comment or whatever, and just have a little watch and let me know what you think. I'll do a video on crypto, like I said, coming up. I'm not heavily involved in crypto, but you know, I know a fair bit about it. About my previous time in the nightclub, wine bar, whatever you want to call it, the memorabilia, and the TV show. We'll have a chat about that at some stage. Do you know what? I'm really enjoying the lives. I just find it's a way of engaging with people, talking to people live rather than having, you know, gossip and bits and bobs, replying to messages. One thing I'm going to say is that replying to all the messages is starting to take up an awful lot of time already, but I am going to continue with it until I am, you know, until I'm sort of not able to do it anymore. Yeah, Keith, unfortunately not, mate. Thank God. How much for the Longsdale belt? To be honest, mate, I don't know whether I'd ever want to sell it. Again, I'm one of these people that once you sell something like that, you can never buy them back. They very rarely come up for sale. I would sell it, to be fair, but just, yeah, maybe get a message to me and we'll have a chat. But is Danny Rampling coming to stay? I don't know who Danny Rampling is, unless that's to somebody else. Claire, I'm not sure who Danny Rampling is. I'm probably sounding stupid there. It's probably someone really famous, but yeah, I don't know, mate. Indian Scout bike. Yeah, I've seen the Indian bikes. They're actually really, really good. Really, really nice. He's a DJ. Is he? We've got a big DJ thing coming out. I think it's happening at the end of this month. So it's like maybe next weekend even. And I've got a couple of, well, VIP tickets if you want to go, because I know the guy that's organising it. We've got the Artful Dodger coming out. We've got, God, this just shows you how old I am now. The Artful Dodger and what's the other guy called? Oh, God, I am getting old. Artful Dodger, and he's not, who's the big DJ? Oh, well, I'm not going to remember it now. Anyone that wants to look, oh, what's his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. Forget it. There's a big DJ thing and music event next weekend. I think it's this weekend coming. I can't remember. What are we on now? No, it'll probably be the following weekend. Pete Tong. No, it's not Pete Tong. Artful Dodger and, do you know what? This is going to drive me nuts, so I'm going to have to Google it. Calvin Harris. No, it ain't that big. We're only the southern part of Spain, mate. Carl Cox. No, I'm going to have to tell you now, and let me just Let me just, I will tell you, I'll look up the event. I can't look up the event because I'm not on Facebook. Isn't that great? Right, it is the Artful Dodger. There's a load of tribute acts. Judge Jules, that's the word I'm looking for. Judge Jules. Judge Jules and the Artful Dodger. A friend of mine looked after Jules when he was Judge Jules when he was over here a few months ago at the same venue. Yeah, Keith, I'm afraid, mate, you are going to have to be removed from the chat, mate. We cannot allow that. Apologies, anyone that's seeing that. Yeah, we've got a couple of Wallies in the, they're gone there anyway. So, yeah, Judge Jules, as I say, he's coming out. Ian, I think I've already got rid of him, mate. But yeah, as I say, we're going to get the odd wombat in the chat, aren't we? Trying to ruin things. Like I say, you can't avoid them, can you? You know, that's the problem. But so I'm going to that apparently. Yeah, there's always one. Like I say, you get, you know. Who's coming to stay with? Oh, right, I'm with you now. Do you know what? The penny's actually just dropped. No, he was a big DJ in the Essex area many, many years ago. He's older than me. I've known him for 20 odd years now. But I'm not gonna, it's not really fair for me to mention his name because he might not want me to. But I'm gonna try and get him on a video while he's out here. He doesn't know that yet. In fact, he might even be watching, so. Or he might watch it tomorrow because he'll probably be in bed. His DJing days are well and truly over. I've just joined the channel. Hope you, Sophie and Carter are okay. I'll try and work out what you are talking about. Yeah, see, the problem is once you finish, send it. Is that weirdo Essex DJ from First Dates? No, he's definitely not been on that. And it's not Mike Reed. Is he Essex? I thought Mike Reed was from the Midlands, but maybe I'm wrong. This is going to wind a few people up, isn't it? You're going to have to wait until next week now when I get him on the channel. He's got his own radio station. It's an online one, and he's quite popular. No, it's not Jay the DJ off of the In-Betweeners, although he does visit a friend of mine's nightclub quite regularly. He goes to the Alternative nightclub in Rayleigh in Essex. He goes to the Pink Toothbrush. Don't know whether anyone's ever heard of that. How is your house? Still here, mate. Still here. I take it you meant the house I'm in. Wow, they are really coming in. Yeah, the Pink Toothbrush used to be years and years ago called Crocs. And as you went in, there was a live crocodile in the tank right inside. Now, I don't think any of you guys are going to guess it. But he was very well known back in the day. Anyone remember Kenny Thomas, the singer? He's good friends with Kenny Thomas. Remember Kenny Thomas, Outstanding, and No, You're Not Going to Get Me to Sing It, and Thinking About Your Love? Anyone remember those? Was he a rave DJ? No, he was probably more sort of nightclub DJ, that type of thing, but the big clubs back in the day. Aren't we all showing our age? Kenny Thomas was a great singer. Yeah, he is. He's still on tour now, you know. A friend of mine spoke to him a couple of days ago. I know Kenny to a certain extent. He's had a terrible ride with his daughter being very ill, and he still works to pay for her treatment. Yeah, he would have played at Epping Forest years ago. Bit of a character. Bit of a character. Yeah, Kenny Thomas, as I say, he was a tremendous, tremendous singer. But he's still out and about on the scene now. A friend of mine's thinking about trying to get him over for his birthday, for his 60th, but we'll see what happens. There's a song about a pink toothbrush, is it? Well, that's what it's called anyway, the nightclub. It's in Rayleigh. If ever you want to go there, you go up to the bar and you'll look to your left and you'll be next to a panda, and you'll look to your right and you'll be next to a goth. It's called an alternative club. He used to dress in a suit. Kenny Thomas did, yes, he did. He did indeed. Is Brian Harvey coming over? No, not Brian Harvey. I think we're sort of a little bit up there, really. Billy Bunter. Billy Bunter. Don't know the name. Again, probably a DJ that I've not heard of. And wow, Boy George. I don't think he's from Essex, mate. I've not heard of Billy Bunter, but that's just me. I was never really in the nightclub scene, to be fair. When I was younger, my friends always used to go to the clubs, the pubs and all that sort of stuff. I was boxing. I was 7 days a week in the gym. 7 days a week. I didn't have my first pint of beer, there you go, until I was 25 years old. And the first time I ever had a couple of pints of beer was on a New Year's Eve. And I got a phone call saying that my then fiance's dad had just been rushed into hospital with a heart attack, and I couldn't even drive. I couldn't even drive because I'd had a few beers. There you go. Yeah, I was 25 years old before I had my first pint of beer, and now I'm making up for it. No, I don't drink that much, to be fair. Throughout the week, don't really drink. Every now and then I'll have a can or a gin and tonic or something, but I'm not really, like I say, there you go. There's orange squash. That's about as adventurous as it gets now. Roland Rat, do you remember him? Your house is beautiful. Thanks, Craig. Thank you very much, my friend. It's nice. You do get a lot more for your buck in Spain. Although I did get a really, really good deal on this house, to be fair. Do you know the top floor club in Ilford? Yes, it was above the furniture shop, wasn't it? It was called Room at the Top. Again, a friend of mine, funny enough, an old neighbour, owned that about 10 or 12 years ago, I think it was now. I love a gin and tonic, lots of different gins. I'm a bit of a gin connoisseur. Well, I'm not actually, but I do like Monkey 47. I like Tanqueray. I like Gordon's, to be fair. I think you can't really go wrong with any of it. There's quite a lot of gins now, isn't there? But probably Monkey 47's my favourite out of those ones. And you can taste a slight difference. But you need a decent tonic water. Nordic Mist is a nice tonic to go with it. They do a blue Nordic Mist, which has got like a bit of a zesty taste to it. That's a really nice one. Harrison Gibson was the shop. Yeah, it's called Penthouse, but I think it used to be called Room at the Top. I might be wrong with that. I'm pretty sure it was called Room at the Top. It's not Ray Lewis, although I do know of Ray Lewis, yeah. Snakebite back in the days, yeah, that was hang on, that was cider and blackcurrant, weren't it? How you doing, Tommy Mason? How are you, my friend? I will tell you a little story. When I used to be a manager of a pub, again, this story's coming up tomorrow, so everyone's got to go over and watch that tomorrow because I'm running out of steam. If people don't watch the videos, there's no point in me bloody doing them, is there, you know? So any shares, likes, comments, all helps. If you can share any of the videos or the profile, get a few followers, that would be amazing. As I say, my aim is to really get it to 10,000 subscribers fairly quickly if I can. I used to have a guy come in the pub when I was a manager, and he used to have a Coke and Guinness, would you believe? Don't know whether anyone else has heard of that. It's not Pat Sharp. No. So basically, you can't do it either way. If you put the Coke in first in a pint glass, so it's half a Coke and half a Guinness. You put the Coke in first, it goes over like a volcano. And if you try it the other way, it's exactly the same. So what I ended up doing in the end, because I'm sure we went round to mind you, he did actually come in regularly and always had the same drink. So in the end, what I'd done, a bottle of Coke and half a Guinness in a pint glass, let him bloody mix it. Because I'll tell you what, it was a messy old lager cider was a snakebite. I thought it was cider and something else, but as I say, I'm not really a big drinker and I never have been, to be fair. God, there's still people trying to guess the old DJ, aren't they? That's going to be a really good video, isn't it, when I bring that one out? What shall I call it? The mysterious DJ, we'll call it the title for the video. Mysterious DJ. I'll interview him. I'll tell you what, we'll try and do it while he's out here. I'll interview him and we'll ask about his life. It'll be an interesting, yeah, it could well get to 10 million views. You never know. I doubt it, but you never know. Neck one, neck the other and throw up. Well, I suppose it all goes down the same old, doesn't it, you know? Right, guys, we are at 65 minutes. We'll go for another 5 minutes or so. Anyone else got anything they want to chat about tonight? Because I really haven't got much to sort of written down. Remember Baby Sham? And they used to try and make it a little bit more of a masculine thing, didn't they? With the guy used to go, oh, I have a baby sham. Do you remember that? Tony Blackburn. Is it a dance club? Yeah, it was a dance club. It was always a cider and black for me. Yeah, like I say, I've never really been a drinker. And even to this day, Sophie's only ever seen me drunk once, I think, or twice. I got very, very drunk once. My first time I got absolutely annihilated drunk. And it wasn't really out of choice. And I'll tell you a quick story. I went to Frank Bruno's son's christening at his house. So this was at Frank's house. Tremendous parties. They had quad bikes. They had horse riding. They had a world champion trampolinist. They had helicopters coming in, taking people out for rides and things like that. It was an amazing party. Great DJs. Started drinking. I'm on a table with Chris Eubank, senior, not junior. I don't even think Junior was about then. Yeah, he would have been about, but he was obviously very young. Anyway, I was sat on the table with a few people and we started talking and drinking. I had a couple of pints of beer and it was a really hot day. And then Frank might actually see this because he does watch this channel. So it's just so, and he will remember this. The beer started coming up really high. And what happens when the temperature's not right, you'll end up wasting a pint to pour a pint. So in the end, towards the end of the night, the pints were running out and we had to go on to cans. Well, I weren't really a big drinker at the time and I didn't really know, but we went on to Special Brew. Oh, Geezer brought out a pack of 4 that would be in an ice bucket of Special Brew. And I drunk them. Oh my God. I was dancing, reggae music and things. In the end, I actually fell asleep. Halfway up the stairs and my girlfriend, partner, can't remember, fiance possibly, at the time just left me. She just thought, I'm not going to try and move him because I was quite a big lump back then, bigger than I am now. And she weren't going to move me and I was absolutely out of it. I'll tell you what, I didn't know about Special Brew. I think it was 12.9% by memory or something like that. Ever since that time, and Frank's son now is coming up, it's got to be coming up for 28, 29. So he was young. So we're talking probably 25 years ago. And I still speak to the kids a lot. Frank's kids, lovely people, lovely, lovely, lovely people. And I know their husbands and girlfriends and bits and bobs. Anyway, is it 8.7? I think it's more than that. 10, yeah, I'm sure it's more than 8.7. I think it was 12. I'll have to take your word for it. I can't remember. But I downed these 4 cans, and ever since then, when I'm out drinking, I hit a barrier, and I cannot go past it. My body won't let me drink past this barrier. So I'll have I can have a few beers. If we're having a night out, I can have a few beers, but I cannot get drunk. I can get tipsy and quite merry and chatty and sleepy and whatever, but I cannot get drunk. Very rarely do I get a hangover because I won't allow myself to get that drunk. Jack, worst boxer you have ever seen? There's quite a lot. Audley Harrison's one of them. I thought he was useless. I really, really did. He just didn't have it, mate. That's probably horrible to say because he did win an Olympic gold, but the quality of that year must have been horrific. Yeah, somebody else has just said the same thing, Crabby, Audley Harrison. Look, that's unfair for me to say that. The guy won a lot, and but just it was just never there for me. And I tell you what, and I know Frank is a very, very good friend of mine, and he gets mentioned tomorrow in this video. There's something that Frank done for me some years ago, and again, he's in that video tomorrow. So, you know, there's 235 people watching at the moment, so I'm hoping you all have a watch of this video tomorrow. When I found out that my father had passed, I ended up drinking a bottle of whiskey. I don't blame you, my friend, because things like that can have a very negative effect on you, can't they? I lost my mum in 2019, so I know exactly how you feel. It's not a nice... I thought Special Brew, unless I've got it wrong, I thought it was 11 point something, or even 12. It was something stupid. Anyway, whatever it was, it knocked me Barney, and ever since then I've not been able to I don't drink whiskey, I don't drink brandy. Special was 9%. Now it's, oh yeah, see, I'm going back some years ago. It tasted like drain cleaner, I'm going to be honest with you. It might be that now, I'm sure years ago. Yeah, 12.9 someone's just said, that's what I remember it being, 12.9. Tommy's just said that, so look, Pernod, see, that's another one. You don't really see Cinzano anymore and all that sort of stuff, do you? God, it's like a blooming AA meeting on here, isn't it? All talking about alcohol. Blimey, you really are late. We're just about to end. Back in the 1980s scooter scene, Berwick on Tweed, right there. Wow. Barley wine. We saw lads in pub drinking from a pint glass in Newcastle. Do you know what? I actually, when I run the pub, I used to do like a karaoke every now and then, as you used to do in the 1980s. I can't think of anything worse than going to a pub now and watching karaoke. That's a personal opinion. A lot of people still enjoy it, but for me, that is my worst nightmare, to sit in a pub and watch a load of people that have had too many go up and pretend they're Barry Manilow. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, one time we used to bring them up and they used to, some of them tell jokes, some of them would sing. And there was one guy, I used to go out with his sister years ago, only for a very short period of time. Her name was Michelle, but I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. That's going to be really bad, isn't it? Anyway, he used to eat pint glasses as his party trick. So that would be a pint glass for argument's sake. He would go and then smash it. Then he would put the microphone up to his jaw and you'd hear him chewing the glass. So, and he ate the whole glass. The only thing he couldn't eat was the massive, great big base at the bottom, because obviously that would crack his teeth. But the whole bottle, the whole glass went. That was his party trick. Don't know if he's still alive, to be fair. Probably not. Yeah, ouch. Can you imagine a bit of that going in between your gum or something? Oh my God. Got to be. His name was Steve. There you go. I've just remembered it. Pernod is lethal. A girl I used to know used to drink Pernod until she was pretty much comatized. And you always used to know when she was on the way, because she used to do that. Close one eye and just look through one eye. Don't know whether anyone ever does that, but I always used to remember that. So we are still 233 people. Look, I'm happy to sit around for another 10 minutes if you want. Give us a few more upvotes. If we get a 350, we'll give it another 10 minutes. Jack, Tommy will join you in Benidorm once he's out. Look, I do hear he's coming out to Spain fairly quickly, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't know whether I'll be joining that. It's a topic and a subject I just need to... Look, the whole situation, if people don't know, is I had a bit of a problem in the UK when I went back recently. And the only thing I can do is link it to what I was doing on Paul's channel, and obviously my association. And the reason I was going back was to visit our friend in prison. And I think it's caused me lots of problems. So, look, as I say, I really can't wait for him to get out, and good luck to him. But like I say, I'm just gonna keep my political stuff completely away from any social media. I just think for me going forward, that's my best way. I don't know an awful lot about Tommy's situation. There's a couple of questions come in. So, and like I've said on Paul's channel, people think that myself and Tom, Steve, whatever you want to call him, are really good friends. I know him. We've got each other's number. I've spoke to him on the phone, tried to help him on a few things, but we're not, you know, we're not like that. You know what I mean? And it would be foolish and wrong for me to say that I was. So as I say, I'm keeping this channel completely non-political and sort of that environment. I don't want it anything to do with this channel. So here we are. Moving on. I hate airports at the best of times, but to be kept there for hours, yeah, it wasn't a pretty thing. It takes strength of character to make decisions, choice. As I say, look, anyone else can carry on and do their thing with it. I've got no issues with anything. This channel is about Spain. This channel is about upbeat stuff. This channel is about where we go, talking about a few bits and bobs, little businesses, little bits and bobs, ideas, what we do day to day. You know, I'm even going to take like the GoPro in a swimming pool with us, you know, because they're waterproof, aren't they? So just exactly that. We're just going to keep it as it is. This channel was never, ever, before any of this cack in the UK happened to me, this was never going to be a political channel. So we're just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to mention it anymore. Did I know Gary Mason? Yes, I did. A friend of Frank's, and sadly was killed in a bike accident in London some years ago. Tremendous boxer, strong as an ox. Yeah, tremendous. Have I got a boat? No, I haven't. Never owned one. And to be fair, probably never really got the desire to own one either. I'd like to maybe rent one for a day, but that would be. Love what you do on here. Thank you very much, British lady. This channel is family. Look, right, that's the thing. I want everyone, I want to be on first name terms. Look, until this channel gets big, everyone that's commenting, I recognise straight away. You know, CFC Daz, I remember, Maureen Carter, Unicorns of the I recognise every one of these names because I read every one of the messages. I've never met Jim Davidson, no, not at all. No, boat being out another fair. Do you know what they say with a boat, don't they? The best 2 days of a boat is the day you buy it and the day you sell it. Yeah, as I say, I don't know what Paul's stance is going to be in the future. I think he might carry on the, you know, on the outskirts of it. Rai, thank you very much for joining us. Good evening. And Richard, I believe, is going to carry on. Like I say, for me, it's done. I'm putting family first, and that is exactly how I intend it to stay. Right. Off to bed now. Mad Mark, future Ventura. I'll tell you what, I bet it's nice and sunny out there. We have had some hot weather here. Jesus Christ, it's been really, really hot. I think today was about 33. Yesterday was 35. And yesterday I went out in jeans, can you believe? Today I've been in shorts, thank God. Richard has turned into a religious nut. Well, he's always been quite religious, to be fair. And, you know, he does like his religion. And I'll tell you what, he's very knowledgeable on religion as well. He's a very knowledgeable man, Richard. Very, very knowledgeable. And I've got a lot of time for him. I think he's a very, very nice guy. Danny, take Paul shopping, get him out outfits. Yeah. 35 too much. It is too much. I'm going to be honest with you. We are going to have a hot summer and I'm a bit concerned about it. Did I get a phone outage today? No, I didn't. We had a phone outage when we had the power cut for 11 hours. It was a really weird feeling. It was like the end of the world. No one could do anything. We couldn't phone anyone. We couldn't get the telly. We couldn't get updates on what was happening. We as far as we knew, it could last for 3 or 4 days. We didn't know. You know, it was. It is what it is. I believe Paul's going to be doing a live on my channel soon. I've just got to work out how to do it, to be fair. That's probably why I ain't done it. Get Starlink. I've already got Starlink. That is what I'm on now. Starlink is a very, very good, when you live in the middle of nowhere like I do, the best internet I could get was 20 meg. And the Starlink gives me, well, this type of quality. I think I've got about 120, 150 meg. How's the tortoise doing? He's very well. He come back today. He'd been gone for a few days, but he come back today. He's in here somewhere. I don't know. I let him have his thing. I'll give him his flowers. He's got, you know, some water. He's pretty much makes a mess everywhere, I can tell you that. But he comes and goes as he wants. I put him out today and he come back. So, you know, whatever. He can live in the garden or he can live in here. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, it's a bit hot today. I think the stones were really hot because as soon as I put him down today, he was like looked like blooming Usain Bolt. He was legging it. Paul needs to get a stance if he's fighting you. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll quickly touch on that before we go. Paul decided the other day that he wants to do a charity boxing match. So I've backed away from the political stuff. This is poppy red. You have to excuse me for squinting. My eyes are not the same anymore. Really, I've got to start putting glasses on for the lives. You're doing the great. Your family. Good night, Danny. Pleasant live. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. Have you bumped into Charlie Mullins, the Dino Rod Stewart X? No, mate. No. Jesus, that was a mouthful, wasn't it, on that? Excellent weather in Edinburgh. Yeah, I understand the UK and Scotland's got some lovely weather at the moment. Danny, my dad used to make home brew. It was 35%. Oh. I once got fairly drunk. I had a bit of a bad time during a divorce. And in my own wine bar, I was in there and we used to have these bottles. I think there was 6 bottles. They started at 22%, 32%, 42%, 52%, 62%, 72%. One of them was 92% anyway. It might have been 7 bottles. And I decided that I was going to have a few of them. In the end, funny enough, in fact, Sophie was working that day because Sophie used to work for me years ago. That's how we met. Although it was sometime after I'd sold the bar that we got in a relationship. But she stopped me from having any more. I was on this mission to sort of drown my sorrows a little bit. And she said, we're not serving you anymore. That's it. You're leaving. You're barred. I said, you can't bar me. I own the bloody pub. They went, well, you're barred. We're not having it anyway. I just walked behind the bar and picked the bottle up myself. I just remember that. It was a bit of a bad day for me. I very rarely do that. I never rely on a bottle to get me through because obviously the problems are still there the following day, aren't they? You know? You started a story about getting into a new Lamborghini. How did it go? Yeah, I got a brand new, this was when my business was going well. I'd paid my mortgage off. I had a rental property and decided to get a car. It's been a lifelong ambition. It was delivered and it was one of the best days of my life. It was a brand new Lamborghini Gallardo. I bought it in 2004, so that's 21 years ago. I wear contact lenses now, Alan. I've worn contact lenses from the age of 17, so it's 40 odd years now, and they put my bad eyes down to boxing. Easy thing to pick on though, isn't it, when you're getting smacked in the head? So it's an easy thing to blame for bad eyes and stuff like that. But yeah, I have contact lenses there. Look, I'm like, there you go. Oh, it's still in my eye. There you go. That's been flashing it. There you go. Look at that. Where is it? Contact lenses. And that's how quick I take them in and out, you know. I'm going to really struggle now because probably I've got some dirt on my hands. You meant to wash your hands before you do it, but anyway. That's how quickly I put them in and out. In fact, I normally do it quicker in the mirror. Paul versus Ray Hill, charity boxing match. Yeah, I hear that Ray's talking bad of Paul at the moment, but like I say, I don't think it bothers Paul. He just lets it all go over his head. I think, you know, a lot of the stuff that I've been told, I don't watch his channel much, to be fair. I've seen a couple of his videos and stuff, but a lot of the stuff he's saying, he couldn't be further from the truth. So, as I say, you know, people are trying to make money on Paul's name. I can't do that with anything to do with my eyes. Do you know what? When you've been playing with your eyes, for years, you can touch everything. Your pupil, it becomes sort of like that. It's a bit like you can't really see it, but my right fist has got so many scars and breakages, and one knuckle's lower than the other because I broke my knuckles and punching and things. And my hands, I can punch a wall without really feeling anything. Obviously, it splits my hand and things like that, but you don't really feel anything. It becomes numb. It's a bit like that with your eyes, your eyesight and stuff. You know, start putting contact lenses in and taking them out all the time. It's bloody easy. Who's Ray Hill? He's just another YouTuber, but it's not worth looking at because it's, you know, there's nothing really. Just checking out now. Take it easy. Catch you on your next live. Thanks very much, guys. As I say, we'll get to 90 minutes, then we've done an hour and a half, haven't we? Yeah, Ian, I'll tell you what, mate, my right hand is like, yeah, you can't really see it on the lives and stuff, but yeah, very, got a lot of damage over the years from, from boxing. Yeah. Oh no, yeah, channel, nice guy. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I'll get a lot of positivity again. You know, 369 upvotes. If you haven't upvoted and you've only just joined us, give a quick thumbs up before we end the video tonight. 90 minutes feels like 30 minutes. That's the thing, isn't it? It's just, as I say, I like to come on the lives without any form of, you know, there's not really any structure to it. Just get on there and see what happens. You know. Danny, when is the best day of your life? Do you know what? I've had a few. Obviously, the day your children are born, so I've had 3 of those. I've got a daughter and 2 sons. I'll come back to the bicep recovery in a minute. It's absolutely awful at the moment. Obviously, those are the best days of your life. When you're getting married, I suppose that's one of the best days of your life. The Lamborghini that I bought was a massive milestone for me. From a very young age, it was a big driving factor in business for me. Cheers, Chris. I hope you're well, pal. I'll give you a call this week, mate. Chris Luty's a good friend of mine from the watch days. And yeah, as I say, there's plenty of, you know, when you buy your first house and things like that. Those are you know, when you succeed in business, but that's not really one day, is it? That takes bloody years, and no one ever sees the work that goes into some of these businesses. You know, anyone that makes money out of business, like I say, I've got a friend of mine that, when I talk about wealthy, you know, he's wealthy. See, I can't even explain how wealthy he is, but I can only applaud him. I can only, you know, admire what he's done and how he's done it. He's worked hard. Very, very knowledgeable guy in his particular industry, and made silly money. But like I say, I will never name him. I won't talk about what he does or anything like that. I've got a few wealthy friends, but this one is different level wealthy. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to be honest with you. If we went out in a crowd of 10 guys or 20 guys or whatever, you wouldn't be able to pick him out. Let me tell you that. That's how down to earth and normal he is, and hat off to him for staying like that. Because a lot of people, when they gain wealth, can forget where they come from, and you can never do that. I don't give a toss if I won £1 billion, right? I would eat in the same places, I'd live in the same house, I'd drive the same cars. I probably wouldn't, to be fair. I probably wouldn't drive the same cars. But I would keep the same friends that I've got. You know, nothing would change for me. They sit there and say you'd change if you win the lottery. Not in a chance in hell would I change if I won insane amounts of money. I would still eat pie and mash, mate. That would still be my favourite food. I'd prefer to go to the pie and mash shop in Romford or Southend rather than the Gavroche in London, you know, where you pay £800 for a meal. It's just not a bit of me. And like I say, I don't care how much money I've got, I would never change. I'm not going to change because I'm never going to win the lottery because I very rarely do it. I've done one today. I've done four numbers because my mate phoned me up and said he's done some, and if I do some, and then if I win it, I have to give him 10% of the winnings, and if he wins it, he's going to give me 10%. But anyway, I didn't win, so there was another waste of a tenner. Like I say, I very rarely do the lottery. It's probably 4 times a year. And that's only when it's like a roll over. I don't know whether anyone won the Euro lottery, did they today? Anyone tell me before I go? Come on, let's get me up to 400 upvotes before I go on. I'm 382. Probably everyone that's on here now has upvoted anyway. Yeah, I've heard of Omen's Pie and Mash. I've never eaten in there, but I've... Porky's Discounts. Thank you very much. This channel is great. Well done, Danny. Thank you very much. 10% of nothing. That's exactly what I've got. Yeah. And I didn't win 90% of anything either. Never forget your roots. I never will. I am a barking boy through and through. Oh, someone's asked about my my bicep injury. As you can see there, that's the problem right there. Without getting too technical about it, I've torn, I said it earlier, 5.3 centimetres off the bottom of my bicep in the middle of a sparring match, which wasn't the best thing to do because I still had 2 minutes to go. Anyway, I'm having physio, it's slightly getting better. And of course, I left it so long that I couldn't get the operation done. I very, very rarely do the lottery though. And I don't recommend anyone does it. I know you've got to be in it to win it, but when you look at the odds, it's just not. Danny's the working man's Michael Parkinson with his chat channel. I like that. Yeah, the working man's Michael Parkinson. I'm going to use that again. Have I seen the old movie Porky's? God, years ago. I'll tell you what I was watching tonight. I streamed it. Shouldn't have done. Well, I don't know whether you should have or not. It was appeared on the list. And it was the new, what do you call it? Final Destination film. Very, very, very predictable. Good film, but if you've seen all the other Final Destinations, it's worth watching. But I'm going to be honest with you, I wouldn't rush out. I'm up to date with Mobland now. I think I'm on episode 7 or 8. I can't remember what one it was, but I'm hoping there's going to be some more episodes because there's no way it can finish like that and go into a season 2 or series 2. There's got to be more coming that haven't been aired yet. Steak and ale pudding. Do you know what? There's a pub that I go to in the UK that do an amazing steak and ale pudding. Yeah, the Final Destination films, they're all right. But like I say, they're deep fried Mars bars. Do you know what? Sophie tried that in her restaurant and a few people bought them. But yeah, not really a bit of me, I'm going to be honest. Is there more, Alan? Thank you for that, letting me know, because I didn't know that whether there was going to be any more Mobland or whether it was going to go to a second series. Do I play golf? No, unfortunately not. I've never played golf in my life. I found it too boring, although maybe at some stage I'll swing a... What I want to try and do, I used to go clay pigeon shooting years ago, and I'd like to start that up again. That's something I would enjoy. So I need to speak to my police friends out here about reapplying for a licence. And I'd like to start that up. There's one not too far away. I went there on a stag night or stag day with a friend of mine. And yeah, I'm waiting till I watch the rest of the NA1. Yeah, do you know what? I want to see the Mobland. I really, really got into that. I couldn't turn it off. It was like binging. But right, we are down to 220 people. I didn't quite get to me 400 upvotes. I've got to 392. Can't moan about that, I guess. Mobland has 10 episodes. Right, okay. I've only seen 7. Are the rest of the, just before I go, can you just let me know, are the rest of the 10 out yet? Because I can only find, I think it's 7 or 8 I'm on. I'm going to give away 10 million to my YouTube heroes. Paul, I hope I'm one of your YouTube heroes, mate. Even if I get 50 quid, that'd be lovely. Danny, nobody won Euro Millions tonight. Okay, so it'll be 160 million on Friday. See, again, I'll probably put, I don't know, a couple of tickets on Friday. I'll do it on the 160 million because as if 10 million or 50 million is not going to make my life any better. Of course it will, but 160 million is silly money, isn't it? 10 episodes of Mobland. The lottery is a rip-off, yes, and if you look at the statistics, you have got more chance of, you know, hell freezing over than winning it. But look, someone's got to win it, haven't they? At the end of the day, when you go to a night out, I'll tell you what, I'm going to finish on this. When you go to a night out, say you go to a boxing do and there's 250 people in the room and they'll buy a lottery ticket. You never win anything. Well, I never bloody win anything. Blimey, I've just got a message about the Sierra Cosworth. I mean, we was talking about that. You might be catching up. We was talking about that about an hour ago. What's the chances of 250 people you're going to win anything? Yeah, you might not, but like look at the hundreds of millions to one that you've got to, you know, to get some money out there for. I don't know. It's just not a bit of me. I'm going to be honest with you. Gary Warren, is that the Aussie show with Ray? I don't know, mate. That's obviously for someone else. How you doing, man? I'm very good at Simple Sim. I am very good, my friend. I'm going to end it now. We've been on for 95 minutes. Thank you very much for everyone that has joined me. I'm gutted that I didn't get up to 400 upvotes. I only got up to 395. You never know. Might get another quick thumbs up for anyone that has just joined us. I won a leg of lamb once. That's what I'm saying. How much money do you reckon you've gambled to win your leg of lamb? No mint sauce though. It's all right. Leg of lamb's bloody expensive now, especially in Spain. Lamb's really expensive. 398. Come on, I'm not going now until we get to 400. 2 more people have got to give me an upvote before I go. 398. Come on. 2 more. No, I'm going to go. I can't be bothered to wait for it. I'm going to be honest with you. I want a toilet roll. I'll tell you what, that's a toilet roll more than I've won. Do you know what? Someone's just downvoted, so I've only got 397 now. 402. We've done it. We've done it as a team. Thank you very much, everyone. Appreciate you all joining me. I will do another live soon. Not sure when. I'm going to be doing one with Paul when I work out how to use StreamYard or whatever they call it. But I will speak to you all soon. Don't forget, any videos that I've got, especially the one coming out tomorrow, give me an upvote, give me a like, and if you don't mind sharing it to anyone that you know, would be massively helpful to get a few more people. Good night all, love to you all, and I will see you all very, very soon. Night guys and girls.